Hi guys, I'm live. I just want to do just a nonsense kind of update video. I really enjoy doing my musical stuff on my channel more than just general updates and stuff. But sometimes I think it's appropriate and I should do that. And I have a couple things I just want to chat about. It's just nonsense. But first of all, the Laquan guy just threatened me again on my channel, and so I gave him a finger, and then I reported it, and then I just banned him from my channel. They call it hiding. I don't need to hear that. If he's gonna hit me, dude. I bet you're talking about it. I don't need to see it. I get that that's his intention and his is the way he feels, but I already know that, so I just blocked him. So no, I'm sorry if that seems like censoring, but it is what it is. And I heard that from one of my haters, I'll call him that. I think it goes by Caretaker Grady something. That Amy and Andrew McKnight, Amy Burns and Andrew McKnight want a peace treaty with me. So I said sure. Problem is, I've already called Amy a couple times since she left me, at least as Glinda something on my YouTube channel. She said she wanted to, that I was right about Andy and that she wanted me to call her. Well, I did call her several times, but I'm still blocked. So I did what I could, and I didn't want to respond too much to that comment because I didn't think that was what was necessary. I actually tried to call her several times because I do think I'm right about Andy, or I wouldn't have said that. I don't say things just for effect, like, oh, I told you so. I say what I mean in the first place, and I do feel I'm right about Andy. So I tried to call Amy a couple times, and I'm still blocked. So if everything is as it sounds, I just give me a call and I'll meet with you guys and or talk with you, Amy. I mean, I've done what I can. And I believe that Amy still has my number because I'm still blocked in her phone. I wouldn't be blocked if she just didn't know who I was. So okay, there's that. And what else while I'm talking? Oh, I wanted two more things. First, about the Donald Trump thing. I'm a liberal. I'm not really ecstatic that Donald Trump is president, but somebody has to be. And the person who is most popular should be president because we live in at least theoretical democracy. And since I sense that most people want Donald more than the other person, and since most people, I guess that might imply that most people are conservative, LOL, than liberal. Fair enough. Might isn't always right, but might is a thing. He had the might to be president, and I respect that. So nice job. And at least I feel like to me, Donald is like the devil I know more than Camila. I don't even know Camila. She might be another kind of devil that I have no idea what I'm even dealing with. At least Donald, I have a feeling, at least he's the devil we know. So there's that, think what you like or don't like about that, but that's how I feel. And finally, I'd like to do a spiritual update. I go to sleep sometimes when I sit like this. I guess that's because I'm almost 60, but I'm very healthy. I'm just used to moving around. I'm not used to sitting in one place, really. Spiritually, I want to do a slight update. I've studied a lot of the YouTube videos and what I grew up learning and thought about it and everything. And I think there's only like three choices for what I am spiritually. I just like to discuss that if anybody cares. If not, just click off the video and it's fine with me, I guess. First of all, if the Bible's a total piece of junk, then I'm fine being an atheist. I'm okay with that. In fact, that actually would be very appealing to me, as long as I know that I'm a spiritual being. I don't need to have a God. Why do I need that? I don't need. And if I didn't come from God, I'm fine not knowing where I came from. And if there's not a heaven to go to, I could care less because I'm more likely to go to hell anyway. But that does not mean that atheism is correct. If the Bible has some truth in it, then my next knee-jerk reaction is to be a Gnostic. Study that if you care. Gnostics believe that the God of the Old Testament is actually an evil God, and that the actual God of gods is the monad, which is above the God of the Old Testament. And that's what I am more inclined to believe of so far of the two I've mentioned. There's a God that even may have created us, but he's evil. He doesn't have our best intention, and he's a bloodthirsty animal. And I don't serve him, and neither did Jesus. Jesus referred to his father as what was most likely the monad, or what they call the gnosis, the ultimate love that is above the demiurge, which is the God of the Old Testament. And that's more likely what I tend to believe. So of the two choices so far, Jesus didn't come to serve the demiurge of the Old Testament. Obviously, if he had, he just would have fallen in line with the Sadducees or the Pharisees, probably the Pharisees, because they were already serving that God. And Jesus said, "You are of your father the devil," ironically referring to the God of the Old Testament, which most people think he referred to Satan, who he did not refer to, because they weren't following Satan. They were following the God of the Old Testament, which is the demiurge, which Jesus called the devil. And plus, Jesus's behavior and philosophy and thought did not follow the characteristics of the demiurge of the Old Testament at all. Jesus, the God of the Old Testament, would never have forgiven the prostitute and not thrown the stone. That God, the demiurge of the Old Testament, wanted the other guys to throw the stone. That was who he was telling. God said, adultery, death. And Jesus didn't do that. Jesus wasn't following the God of the Old Testament. He was following the monad that is above everything, all light and all love. That's what made his message new in the first place. If Jesus was just following the God of the Old Testament, he would have done nothing different. The Pharisees were already doing that. People were already following that God. Jesus did something different by following the monad, which is where he actually meant by his father. And that's my idea. You think what you want, but then again, I think what I want. And there you have it. And that's fine with me too. And then the third possibility, which I don't like as well as the second one. I don't know which I prefer between this third one and the first one. But if the Bible is like people say it is, and God really is the God of the Old Testament, then I don't serve him, and I'm a Satanist. That's the third possibility. At least Satanists are honest about themselves, who they are, and the only commandment in Satanism is do what thou wilt, and that's what we want to do anyway. We have free will. We want to do what we want. We want to do what we will do. Otherwise, we're just towing the line of some other thing because of duty or fear of punishment, and both those two things are stupidity and weakness in my book. I don't do things because of duty unless I really have to, and a lot of things I do. I wear clothes because it's a duty. I stop at red lights because it's a duty, and that's fine. But I don't. As far as being shirtless guy, I don't do that because of duty. I think that at the end of the day, if you're only doing duty, you're just an agent and you're not free. And the whole point of a lot of the point of being shirtless guy is freedom, health, and happiness. But it's not duty to be shirtless guy or else. It's just what I choose. You choose what you want, and that's your freedom, and that's your pleasure, and not having to just do everything by duty. And the other reason for following that evil God is fear of punishment, and that's also weakness and maybe even stupidity. Because first of all, how do you know that punishment's even real? And also, then take your lumps. If I go to hell, I go to hell. At least I'm responsible for that. At least I own that. At least I say, "Yep, sure, we're ready. Let's have it, demiurge." In that case, if the Bible is as people take it, then I'm a Satanist. So I'm either an atheist, a Gnostic, or a Satanist. I prefer Gnostic of the two, of the three. I prefer rather than just being an atheist and rather being a Satanist, I prefer being a Gnostic. Anyway, and also one more thing. I stayed in my own lane yesterday. I have a feeling when it was Donald's day yesterday. It was his day to be king for whatever for 3 hours, or maybe he's king for life. I don't know. Who knows? Whatever. I didn't do a video other than my Button Up Monday. I just figured, well, I didn't feel right. I'm not. What am I trying to do? Say I'm gonna watch me, not Donald Trump. Have your day. But at least I'm talking about it now. I respect Donald Trump. He's exactly the height of my dad, my adopted dad, 6'3". I just happened to Google that in case I ever met him and found out he's exactly the same height as my adopted dad. He's the devil I know. But I didn't want to do much guitar other than just my Button Up Monday yesterday. I didn't want to try to think that watch me, not Donald. Just have your day, Donald. But I'm going to do some stuff today. I love you guys. Peace. Rock and roll.